Karen's voice sliced through the humid air like a chainsaw, her words dripping with venom as she screamed, "You're all just trash." The community pool, usually a haven of laughter and splashing, had become a battleground, and Karen, with her sister Darlene in tow, was the self-appointed warlord. It was a sticky Saturday afternoon, the kind where the sun seemed to press down on your shoulders, making tempers flare. I was on duty as the pool manager, a job I'd taken for the summer to save up for college. The HOA-run pool had strict rules. Only residents with valid passes could enter. Simple enough, right? Not for Karen and Darlene, two sisters notorious in our neighborhood for their entitlement and knack for stirring trouble. Karen, the ringleader, was a mountain of a woman, her floral dress stretched tight, her face perpetually twisted into a scowl that screamed, "I'm better than you." Darlene, leaner but no less vicious, trailed her like a loyal shadow, echoing every complaint with a nod and a sneer. The trouble started when they sauntered up to the gate, no passes in hand, demanding access. "We're on the HOA board," Karen barked, her chins wobbling with indignation. "We don't need passes." I stood firm, my clipboard trembling slightly in my hands. "Ma'am, everyone needs a pass. It's policy." That's when the trash comment came, spat with such force it felt like a slap. Darlene chimed in. "This place is a dump anyway. You're lucky we even show up." The small crowd by the pool misses. Jenkins, the elderly widow who swam laps daily, and Timmy, a shy teenager who helped clean the deck, watched in stunned silence. I could feel their eyes on me, waiting for my next move. My heart pounded, but I kept my voice steady. "Leave now, or I'll call security." Karen laughed, a harsh, grating sound, and shoved past me, Darlene following. They marched to the poolside, claiming a pair of lounge chairs like they owned the place. I radioed for help, my hands sweaty on the device. Within minutes, Officer Ramirez, a no-nonsense cop who'd dealt with Karen's antics before, arrived with his partner, Officer Lee. The sisters didn't notice at first, too busy berating Mrs. Jenkins for hogging the shallow end. "Move, old lady," Karen snapped, tossing her oversized bag onto a table, knocking over Timmy's water bottle. The handwritten sign I'd seen earlier, "Some Kid's Prank," I assumed fluttered to the ground, its bold letters mocking the scene. Karen's comeuppance. "Trespasser busted." "Ma'am, you need to show your pass or leave," Officer Ramirez said, his voice calm but firm. Karen whirled around, her face reddening. "Do you know who I am? I run this HOA. You can't touch me." Darlene, ever the echo, added, "This is harassment. We'll sue." The officers exchanged a glance, unfazed. Ramirez stepped closer. "You're trespassing on private property. Last chance." The air crackled with tension. Mrs. Jenkins clutched her towel, her eyes wide but gleaming with something like satisfaction. Timmy, usually so quiet, whispered to me, "They're done for." I almost smiled, but the weight of the moment kept me focused. Karen, undeterred, doubled down, jabbing a finger at Ramirez. "You're nothing but a glorified mall cop. This pool is ours." That's when she made her fatal mistake. She shoved Ramirez, her meaty hand connecting with his chest. The next few seconds were a blur. Ramirez, with the ease of someone who'd handled worse, grabbed Karen's wrist, spinning her around. Lee moved in, cuffs clicking as they snapped onto her wrists. Darlene shrieked, lunging forward, only to be restrained by Lee in seconds. The crowd gasped, Timmy's jaw dropping as he fumbled for his phone, probably to record the chaos. Karen's screams echoed across the pool. "This is an outrage. I'll have your badges." But the officers were unmoved, leading the sisters toward the patrol car parked just beyond the fence. As they were escorted away, Karen's bravado cracked. Her voice wavered, and I caught a glimpse of something in her eyes: fear, maybe, or the dawning realization that her reign of terror had consequences. Darlene, less composed, sobbed loudly, her mascara streaking down her face. The crowd dispersed, whispering among themselves, some shaking their heads, others stifling laughs. Mrs. Jenkins approached me, her frail hand patting my arm. "You did good, kid. They had it coming." I stayed late that evening, cleaning up the mess Karen's bag had left behind. The sign, now crumpled, caught my eye again. I chuckled, tucking it into my pocket as a memento. The pool was quiet now, the water still, reflecting the fading light. But the incident lingered, a story that would be retold at every block party for years. Karen and Darlene, the HOA tyrants, had finally met their match not just in the law, but in the quiet resilience of a community fed up with their nonsense. The next day, I heard through the neighborhood grapevine that the sisters had been charged with trespassing and assaulting an officer. The HOA board, embarrassed by the spectacle, stripped them of their positions. Karen's name became a punchline, a cautionary tale for anyone tempted to throw their weight around. Timmy, emboldened by the event, started a petition to reform the HOA's rules, and Mrs. Jenkins offered to help him campaign. I watched it all unfold, feeling a strange mix of pride and pity. Karen and Darlene weren't monsters, just people who'd let power go to their heads, blind to the damage they caused. Weeks later, I saw Karen at the grocery store, her usual swagger gone. She avoided my gaze, her cart filled with discounted frozen meals. I wanted to say something, to ask if she'd learned anything, but I didn't. Some lessons don't need words rewritten in the consequences. The pool stayed peaceful after that, a place where kids splashed and neighbors chatted without fear of a Karen-shaped storm. And every time I walked by that picnic table, I thought of that sign. It scrawled words a perfect epitaph for the sisters' downfall. In the end, it wasn't just about a pool or a pass. It was about standing up to bullies, about a community reclaiming its space from those who thought they could rule through intimidation. Karen and Darlene's arrest wasn't just justice, it was a reminder that no one is above accountability, not even the loudest voice in the room. As I locked the pool gate that night, the weight of the day settled into something like hope. The world didn't change, but our little corner of it did, and that was enough. The end.